You've probably heard the word blockchain thrown around a lot, right? Usually right next to Bitcoin. And let's be honest, it can sound super complicated. But what if I told you the basic idea is actually pretty simple and it's already starting to change, well, everything? So let's cut through all the noise and figure out what this thing really is. So, yeah, let's just dive right in. We've all heard the buzzword, but when you get down to it, what is blockchain really? What's the big idea that has so many smart people calling it a revolution? Okay, if you remember just one thing, make it this. At its heart, a blockchain is just a digital ledger. Think of it like a high-tech record book. But here's what gives it superpowers. Two little words: shared and immutable. Shared means everyone involved has their own copy, and immutable, that means once something is written down, it's there for good. You literally can't change it. Here's probably the best way to picture it. Imagine a digital notebook that gets copied and sent to a whole group of people. Now, anytime someone adds a new entry, boom, it instantly appears in everyone else's notebook. But here's the magic trick. You can only add new pages. No one can go back and erase or scribble over what was written before. That combo of total transparency and a permanent record, that's the secret sauce. All right, so the idea of a shared notebook you can't erase, that makes sense. But how does that actually work in the real world? I mean, how do you make a digital file that no one can mess with? Let's pop the hood and take a look. It really boils down to three simple steps. First, any new transaction, say a payment, gets recorded as a block of data. That's our new page in the notebook. Second, that new block gets linked to the one before it using some seriously powerful cryptography, which creates a secure chain. And third, and this is the genius part, each new block actually makes the entire chain before it even stronger. And that right there is what makes it so ridiculously tamper-proof. See, since every block is chained to the next, you can't just sneak back and change an old one. If you tried, it would break the chain and it would set off digital alarm bells for everyone else on the network. To actually cheat the system, you'd have to change a block and then change every single block that came after it all at the same time. It's practically impossible. And that's what we mean by immutable. Okay, so the tech is clever, it's secure, I get it, but so what? What's a big payoff here? Why should any of us actually care about a digital notebook that can't be erased? Well, the payoff is huge, and it all comes down to one simple but powerful idea: trust. Because the record is shared and secure, we don't have to trust a company or a bank to tell us what's true. We can just trust the system itself. And that foundation of trust unlocks everything else: better security, amazing traceability, and because you can trust the data, you can make things way more efficient and even automate the whole shebang. Traceability is such a perfect example. Think about your groceries. With blockchain, you could scan a QR code on a bag of coffee and see its entire life story, from the exact farm in Colombia where it was grown, to every warehouse it stopped at, all the way to your local store. It creates this perfect, unchangeable audit trail that can prove, without a doubt, that something is organic or fair trade or whatever it claims to be. Now, it's really important to know that blockchain isn't just one single thing. It's more like a basic recipe, and you can tweak it for all sorts of different uses. And the biggest difference between them? It all comes down to who gets to play along. So on one side, you have public blockchains. Think Bitcoin. They're the Wild West. Literally anyone with a computer can join in. On the complete opposite end, you have private ones, which are locked down and controlled by just one company. And then there's this middle ground called a consortium, where a specific group, like a handful of major banks, team up to share control. Each one is built for a different job. And the story just keeps getting bigger. This technology has evolved at an absolutely mind-bending pace. It started out as just a tool for digital money, and now it's being woven into the future of things like artificial intelligence. The whole journey really kicked off in 2008 with Bitcoin, which was revolutionary, but it pretty much just used blockchain as a simple ledger for money. But the real game changer came in 2015. A platform called Ethereum introduced something called smart contracts, and that changed everything. And now today, we're seeing it merge with AI and the Internet of Things. So what are these smart contracts? Honestly, they are the key that unlocked blockchain's potential for everything beyond just currency. Just think of them as simple, if this happens, then do that, agreements that live on the blockchain. So for example, if the tracking number confirms the package was delivered, then automatically release the payment to the seller. There's no middleman, no waiting for an invoice. It just happens. The contract runs itself because it can trust the data on the blockchain. Now, stick with me, because this is where things get really futuristic. What happens when you take all of this perfectly trustworthy, unchangeable data and you feed it to a powerful AI? Well, the AI suddenly has a perfect source of truth to learn from. It can optimize a global supply chain, it can figure out financial risk, or even help doctors create personalized medicine, all because it's working with data that the blockchain guarantees is 100% legit. And if you're still thinking this is some kind of niche techie thing, think again. This is quickly becoming a core piece of our digital world. The forecast for the blockchain market, get this, it's expected to hit nearly $1 trillion by 2032. This is happening, and it's happening fast. So let's bring it all home. When you strip everything else away, the core promise of blockchain is simple. It's a way to create trust digitally without needing a big bank, a government, or any other middleman to approve things for us. The real question, the one I'll leave you with, is this. Now that we have this incredible new tool for building trust, what are we going to build with it next?